A1. A1. Yeah. Truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Damn. Cooler and I'm flyer too.
Yo. Welcome back to A1 Forever Sports, man. I am Chris Tip Moore, and be generational because it's always time to be. And don't you settle for less because you can always have more with the vision. And with the vision in mind, we're here to talk about those Atlanta Braves. They have a big series coming up against one of their divisional rivals. This is the 940th time that these two will be meeting. And honestly, the Braves they're winning the series, but these next three games are going to be the most critical for the Atlanta Braves. And talking with me about these Braves is my man, which I think he's to my left, or he's this way. But it's T Will, my ATL Sports One, and one time for the fam. Brother, how you feeling? How you doing? What you thinking?
I am doing well, brother. Hey, I'm happy to be here with you. You know how we do it. And yeah, man, let's get into it. Really excited about tonight's matchup because you know what? Hey, I'm not going to say this is the thriller in Manila, but it is darn close, man. Because I tell you what, two men enter, or let me not be misogynistic, two men, two women, whatever, two people
Right.
enter, one person leave, two teams enter, one person leave. At the end of this series, we will know who is the owner of the final wild card spot, or we'll know
Right.
who's a lot closer to it. In my mind's eye, Braves have to sweep. You'd rather go into that final series one game up than one game down. We definitely have to win it, but you know, got to sweep in my opinion. What say you?
Hmm.
Give me your thoughts on it.
Well, I mean, see, it's tough because it's like, all right, the Braves, it's like they gotta have this sweet. It's like they almost have to win out. They really do almost have to win
Mhm.
out. Just because, first of all, if you sweep the Mets, you're a game up ahead of the Mets because right now you're two games behind the Mets and the Diamondbacks right now for the final
Correct.
wild card spot.
Correct.
As the Braves would have 85 wins and those other two teams are already at 87. Now
Yep.
you shot yourself in the foot. Of course, so many times throughout the year, like losing to teams that you just couldn't, overcome, teams that you should be able to beat. Now the good thing about the Braves, they have been winning series, but now it's like they gotta have it all the way out. The Braves gotta have it all the way out here.
No
And
doubt.
just moving forward with that, what I was about to say. Lost my train of thought for a second. Oh, but yeah, like I said, you would go ahead and you sweep the Mets. Next thing you know, you're ahead of them by one game, and then you're going into it against the Royals, who are also fighting for a spot as well, because I believe that them and the Tigers have the same exact record.
Hmm.
So again, man, we gotta have it. We gotta
Yeah.
have it, bro.
This next week is going to be a gladiator sport. It's going to be brutal. It ain't for the weak. Uh, Essentially, Atlanta Braves fans, you are going to be watching playoff baseball for the next for the rest of the season if the Braves survive. Look it, the Royals are fighting for their playoff lives as well, so it's not like you're getting a team that's has nothing to play for. These are essentially six playoff games, and we will learn everything we need to know about our Atlanta Braves in that time frame. Um, it's interesting. We didn't sweep the Marlins, and we should have. We didn't do
Oh
ourselves a
gosh.
favor. Chris, are you there? StreamYard streaming again.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see
Okay.
you, or
Oh,
we
there
can
they
hear.
yeah.
We can't
Oh,
see.
there you go, man. StreamYard streaming again. Honestly, I have some things downloading in the background too, so I know that's possibly something that's messing up too. But that has to happen. That was going on previously. But just continue with your point, man. I'm gonna try to work this thing out over here on my side.
All good, man. Hey, we're with you. You know what I mean? Hey, you're not only the face of the show, you're the voice as well. So it's all good, man. Um, but a trend that I've noticed, Chris, this year that really concerns me with our Atlanta Braves is that we have a habit of playing down to our competition. The
Yeah,
weaker teams that we face, that we should take care of business, we don't. If we'd have won at least five of those games, against teams that we should have beaten. We're not even in this position right now, but we haven't.
Right.
So that's a concern. And the other thing is, I just don't know that this team has it to flip that switch. Now they could. Okay, these are my
Yeah,
Atlanta Braves.
they have the capability, man. I believe
They
they
do.
have the capability to flip that switch. It's just we haven't seen it, and that's why you feel like that. Well, that can be part of the reason why.
No, I mean, look, each team is its own iteration, um, its own universe, right? 2023 Braves offense we didn't worry about. This team, however, is not the same. And I mean, guys, they could come out and win 6 in a row. They could not, but we just can't go back. Now, again, that game against the Marlins, you could argue, maybe there was some bad luck. I don't know. I don't know why we couldn't solve the guy. I mean, he was throwing 87 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, wasn't really throwing gas, mixes his pitches. But I just don't understand what happens to us when we go up against teams that we should beat. We should have obliterated the Marlins. They got nothing to play for. They're playing, you're essentially playing well, I'm not gonna say you're playing a minor league team, but these are not, this is not an all-star squad. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping, I am legitimately hoping that we can get something going against these guys. But the bottom line is, look, if we're gonna win it, Chris, we got to have a lead before we get to the 6th and 7th. Because I tell you what, that Mets 7th, 8th, and 9th, I don't know that you want to have to go up against them. So if we're going to win it, we're going to have to win it we're going to need a lead by the 6th, close into the 6th inning. We're going to need a lead, and we're going to have to hang on to it. We're going to have to.
Well, I'm glad that you said that, though, because that was going to be one of my points that we need to do. The Atlanta Braves are going to have to jump out early. Remember how like we jumped out early on the Dodgers and we took those first 2 games like that? That's the Atlanta Braves that we're going to have to see. Those guys that are getting after, they're attacking pitches, and that are putting the ball in play. It's not necessarily about hitting home runs, but put the ball in play, continue, and don't leave guys on the base. Please don't leave guys on the base, because that's going to be key for the rest of the season, about how many batters are you leaving on base and how many hits are you getting. You need to put the ball in play. If you get a home run, great, but singles, doubles, and triples work just as well. And as long as you're able to put the ball in play, I believe the Braves can get into a rhythm, jump on these guys early. They got to jump on these guys early. They have Swelly going tonight, so you got good pitching. You just got to go out there and hit. Remember a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the Braves bats have to start rewarding the pitching toward the end of this season, because the pitching is going to need those bats. And look where we are now. 6 games out, 6 games until it's over. And then we have to have it. The bats and the pitching have to work together as a cohesive unit in order for the Braves to get to these postseason, man. The Braves, if the Braves don't make the postseason, it'll be the first time since 2017, and that's quite some time ago, And Braves fans are not used to it. But honestly, I know it's also some Braves fans out there that's looking at this like, all right, man, we're 6 games out. We haven't been consistent all season. Are you really telling me we're going to find a way to be consistent now out of all times when we really got to have it? And I understand that. But for the Braves, they put a lot of pressure on themselves. They've been able to, withstand injuries. And, honestly, if the Braves don't have these injuries, I honestly believe we're not in this situation. But again, here we are.
No doubt about it.
Again, here we are. We gotta have it. It starts tonight. Guys, we gotta sweep the Mets. We gotta sweep the Mets, because okay, even if you don't sweep the Mets, let's say you take 2 out of 3. You're still tied with the Mets, but you're going into a series against a team who are fighting for a wild card spot too. And I'm not sure if you have it. If not, I'll look at it real quickly for you about the Mets schedule after us. Like who are they playing after us?
I will get it for you. Give me 1 sec. So the Mets after us are going to play the Brewers. Now
Okay.
The Brewers have already won it, right? But let's see there because you get a reward for the best record. So let's see where the Brewers stand if they even have a chance of getting the best record. So the Brewers, oh, they are 4 games behind the Phillies and Dodgers with 6 left.
Mm,
Yeah. So
that's
they
rough.
that it really depends on what happens, right? If the Dodgers lose the next three or the Phillies lose the next three, maybe the Brewers are playing for, best record and they're trying to improve their seeding.
Right.
However, I think the magic number for the Dodgers and the Phillies is probably 2, meaning a combination of 2 wins or two of their wins and 2 of Milwaukee's losses, and they've
Mhm.
cemented 1 and 2. So the Dodgers are
Well,
93 and 63. The Phillies are 93 and 64. I mean, we'll see. You know, let's see
right.
who the Dodgers play.
Well,
Let's see if we can check
what
them out.
real quick while you're looking that up, I'm gonna tell you why I feel like the Braves have the opportunity to sweep the Mets this series.
Okay,
One of their main staples have been what this season?
the
The
Braves, they're
pitching. Yeah, the
pitching
pitching,
right.
right? So this series, you pretty much have your hottest guys really kind of going at it, and you also have a guy who has to have it, who has to show that hey, look, whatever contract I'm asking for, I said I'm really worth it because I'm really going to show it in this game. Again, the Braves have Swelly going tonight. On Wednesday, they have Chris Sale going,
Mm,
and then
mm.
on Thursday to finish off the series, they have Max Fried. Now that Max Fried game, especially Chris Sale takes care of business and Swelly sets us up in this game tonight. I'm telling you that game right there, Max Fried, we gotta have it. We gotta have it. You gotta be Mad Max. You gotta be Maximus Prime in that one because shoot, boy, if we had that opportunity, I believe that the Braves can win this series. Like, I believe they can win the series, but they need to sweep the series to put themselves in better position. That's the ideal position. It's just the Mets have been playing so well to the point to where it's just like you can go into it with a fandom like, oh yeah, we'll beat the Mets, but you really have to have respect for the Mets because what they've been able to do since the All-Star break and really a little bit before
Yeah,
then,
I
they've been
mean,
able to win games.
they just took 3 out of 4 from Philly. So I mean,
Yes,
you have to take them seriously.
that's my
Um,
point.
yeah, and they're hitting well. So the
But
Dodgers
I
have the
believe in the Braves pitching, bro. That's been our the only thing we've been able to hold on to all season. And I really believe in the Braves pitching that they're going to be able to step up. Chris Sale, I sleep very well when Chris Sale's on the mound anyway. So you know what I'm saying? Swelly, he has been doing his thing. I believe Swelly is like outside of Chris Sale, Swelly is like the hottest pitcher we have.
yes.
So I trust in him. I trust in his development to continue to get better and better with more reps. And what better way to do it against a division rival when you got to have it? Show that you're one of those guys that we can go into next season like, okay, man, we got ourselves a real staff going on here as far as pitching. So Swelly, I believe in. Chris Sale, I don't have no doubts in. Max Fried is the only guy that I just like. Max, I gotta have it. It's like we gotta have your best stuff. We gotta have, so your focus and everything like that. We can't have Michael Harris, chasing fly balls over the wall, saying trying to bringing them back, just saying that we just can't have that. We gotta have Maximus best. And that's the only way that the Braves are going to be able to do it. It's going to have to start with the pitching, and it's also going to have to start with a guy that we talked about weeks ago that we had to have it from, and that's Matt Olson. And honestly, man, Matt Olson, I can't say not enough about the guy because his last few games, last 7 games, he's had 9 hits, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, only 2 strikeouts. So he has been picking up the bat and putting the ball in play a lot more. in the last and down the stretch, and that's what we need. I believe that's the guy that has got to continue to have his back going, especially with Ozzie coming back. I believe, Ozzie got that home run. That was great to see from Ozzie. I know some people are wondering why was he in the 2 spot. Maybe, bring him down the lineup a little bit more. But hey, he's been staying right there at the 2 spot. And honestly, I expect him to be at the 2 spot the entire Mets series as well.
Yeah,
but Matt Olson has got to be that engine, man, for me.
Yeah, I think Snit had him in the 2 spot because you got Unk or Ozuna behind him. That's probably going to give Ozzie some protection, meaning he'll see fastballs because you don't want Ozzie on base in front of Ozuna.
Right.
And I guess Snit's figuring he's batting right-handed against right-handers. Let me get him an edge so he can see fastballs. That's it, because Soler was doing great there, right?
Right.
But I mean, we'll see. They did win 2 out of 3 against the Marlins. Now, with that being said, it was the Marlins.
Right. They should
I
have
agree.
swept them, man. I'm with
Yeah,
you, man. They should have swept
we
them.
should have. We should have. But we can't have any lapses in concentration. I do have a question for you.
What's that?
In regards to Sale, his last 2 outings, the velocity has been down a tick. What are your because we see that again. I mean, you have to ask yourself, is that an injury? Is that exhaustion? Is that just being tired? Typically, or it could be his delivery. I don't know. When a pitcher loses velocity, there are a couple of one of them is very bad, right? And look, I'm not even gonna put that option out there. With the year that we've had, I'm not even gonna put that option out there. But what I will say is, maybe they felt like he needed some rest. That last start he was throwing 91, 92, and he's typically 95, 96, 97. Now again, could have been hot, could have been tired, could have been a million things, right? Could have been his delivery. Could be a million things, So I don't want to speculate, but that may be something to keep an eye on. The way this lineup is set up, Chris, it looks like if we get to the playoffs, Sale's going to be your number 1 starter. Which he should be.
Yeah, what you should. Yeah,
which he should be. So it looks like that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to set up.
Well, to answer your question real quick, just real quick to answer your question, I mean, let's just be honest. The guy has been carrying the Atlanta Braves pitching staff. He's been your number 1 for quite some time. We can go back to at least like he probably showed dominance for at least like the last 8, 9, possibly to 11 starts.
He's been dominant the entire year with the exception of the A's start. And I don't know why, because the A's suck, but they lit him up.
Yeah. And that's like really his only flaw.
Right.
Really, that was like his only flaw. So again, the man has been
Yeah.
So again, he's been carrying the Braves pitching staff, leading the charge. So if anything, I would say the guy has just been pitching so much to the point to where it may be a little exhaustion. I don't even want to say exhaustion. I'll say more just a little tired, a little fatigue. He is 35. And he's been, he's been ice cold all season. But am I worried about Chris Sale? To be honest with you, no, I'm not. Not more so like how I am like a Ronaldo Lopez. I'm more worried about Raylo than I am Sale.
Yeah,
Raylo, he's already injured or whatnot, and he's trying to come back. I believe like he's throwing the ball right now, isn't he? He's back throwing the ball. And
playing long toss. I know that he played catch last week, and then he was going to play long toss. But I mean, I really don't expect to see him back unless we make it to the division series. Like I don't expect to see him in the wild card.
Right.
And Chris, you got to ask yourself, if he is back in the division series, do you want him starting or do you want him out of the bullpen? And the reason I ask is because we've got him signed for 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
pitched in 2023. He pitched 66 innings. He's thrown
Right.
120, which is double what he did, right? So do we
Right.
now want to prolong that? Because make no mistake about it, the playoffs is a long tournament. It's a month-long tournament. If you make it
Right.
to the World Series, do we really want him going 5, 5, 5, 5, another 25, potentially 30 innings when he's already doubled, or do we want it maybe onesie twosie, right? And I'll throw it out to you. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, to be honest, it all depends on, are you still playing for that World Series that you said is World Series or bust for? Are you still on that train? Are you still on the it's a World Series or bust train? Or are you just trying to make it to the playoffs to say that, we made it, what I'm saying, for another consecutive season? Like what are the goals? And if you ask me, I think the goal is still a World Series, regardless, even with all the injuries and everything, despite. I still think if you go in that clubhouse and ask those guys, hey man, playoff series or a World Series, well, of course they're going to say the World Series. So
Yeah,
with that being said, you got to play your guns. You got to play your stars. You going if he says, if Raylo comes into you as a skipper and says, Brian Snicker, I am ready to go. I am ready to produce and contribute for the Braves. There's no way that Snick can sit back and say, all right, man. I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna bring you out of the bullpen when this man done told you, hey, look, I'm ready to start and contribute. I'm healthy. If he's not fully healthy, there's no point of putting him out there at all. Like honestly, with anybody, if the person is not healthy for the work for the playoff run, there's no point of putting them out there. So if they're putting them out there at all, I'm expecting him to be 100% and ready to go, because you got to play your starters. You got to play your starters. And he's been instrumental this season. So he's earned that opportunity to come and show what he can do in the playoffs. You can't sit the guy just because, you're worried about the future, because you got to live in the now. The now is we still have an opportunity to make the playoffs. And if you do, I still believe that the Braves can be a dangerous team in the playoffs. They have pitching. The bats are semi trying to come around. They're still not fully consistent, but I think the last few weeks, well, I ain't gonna say a few weeks. I'm gonna bring it back down. I say, well, like the last since the Dodgers series, I feel like the Braves bats have looked a little better compared to what I have seen.
that's true.
As far as consistency, I think
I
since the Dodgers sales. So that's where I'm trying to stay right there and move forward and try to say,
Mhm.
all right, man, maybe, just maybe, these guys can be able to put it together enough to get hot at the right time. Can we do that with this staff? And that's something that I need to ask you. Do you feel like with things like that, the Braves getting into the big dance, can they make some noise? Because I believe that they can.
Oh, let me tell you something. All you're trying to do is get in, okay? Because you get in, anything can happen. Again, the 2021 Braves were not the best team all year. They weren't even close
Mm-mm.
to the best team all year. They got hot
No.
in that second half. And when I say they got hot, the bats got hot, the bullpen got hot, the pitching was good. And we gutted it out, and we took it to it. We took it to it. We weren't afraid of anybody. And we took it to
Right.
everybody that we faced. So even Texas last year, they kind of backed their way into the playoffs, right? And then they got hot. So anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. The question I have for you is, and back to the Raylo thing, right? So you're
Mm-hmm.
paying him $30 million. He's on a 3-year deal, right?
Right.
That arm gets injured this year, he's basically unavailable next year, right? Which
Right.
means, now you get nothing for that second year, and he comes back the third year. And not only that, you don't know if you're going to have Freed. You don't know if you're going to have Charlie Morton. I'm sorry. So
Mm-hmm.
while I definitely understand, I understand World Series of bust. I get it. But you also have to have a pitching staff next year. And, honestly, I don't know, man. If it's me, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, we got a chat, Chris. James Obleton says, "Will the Braves make the playoffs?" That's a
So,
good question, James.
I
Chris, I'll,
mean,
I'll defer to you. I'll defer to you.
well, I think they have the ability to make the playoffs again. I mean, going from that Dodger series moving forward, like I said, I feel like the bats have been coming around more consistently. Still not fully consistent, but they've come around and they've been better. So that's what I'm holding my hat on, to the fact that they can finish the season and maybe they're starting to come around together as a team. Honestly, this is the most consistency we've seen, I guess we can see, from the Braves lineup. Ozzy just came back, yes, but you think about the rest of the guys, at least for the last month, at least this lineup has been playing together. Really, since
Right.
Michael Harris has come back and everything. So maybe they're starting to gel together as a lineup. That's what you're really hoping for. And that's what you expecting to see in this Met series. And again, against the Royals, because they are the last series of the season. So regardless, you have to do your job. As long as you do your job, you can make this playoffs and you can be a
Agreed.
dangerous team. So
Agreed.
it's all about coming together, and really the hitting rewarding the pitching, because last year the roles are reversed. So now this year we gotta have the bats taking care of business out there, putting the ball in play, and putting up runs, because we already know a pitcher always loves so to have some runs behind them to settle them down even more. So it's a tough series. It's going to be a tough series regardless, because again the Mets have been. I hate to say it, the Mets have been good, man. The Mets have been good, and we can't take them lightly. We just can't take them lightly. The Braves can definitely make these playoffs, though, as long as the pitching still gives you what they got, but the hitting has got to show up, and it's got to show up now, like consistently. It has to show up right now, because if you don't, I'm sorry, man, you're not making it. I just don't see you making it. I feel like in these last 6 games, T Will, if you go 3-3, you don't make it.
You're done. No, you got to go. You got to go at least 5-1. And hey,
Yeah, I don't
James,
even like 4-2. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I
I don't
don't.
even like 4-2.
Yeah, I don't. James Obleton says tired of the Phillies beating us, and you know what? I am too. Chris, let me ask you a
Right.
question. I know that Chipper and the Braves
We're two
dominated.
games. We're 2 games behind. Right quick. He said, "How many games are we out?" We're 2 games behind the Mets and the
Mm.
Diamondbacks right now.
We're a game and a half behind the Diamondbacks because they
Yeah,
lost
game and
last.
a half because they lost. Yep,
So
they did
so I
lose.
mean there's possibilities there, but in regards to the Phillies, right? And I know we dominated the Mets like in the night. We dominated them. I mean they were our little brothered them. Like we sunned them, right? And I know the rivalry is there. But have the Phillies, and I'm tired of Phillies. I'm tired of Phillies in general. I'm sick of the Phillies. So I agree with
Mhm.
James. The Braves Phillies rivalry right now, do you think it rises to the level of Falcon Saints? Like, and I'll ask you as well, James.
Uh,
Like, what are you? Because right now, I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing, right? And tell you what, Snit said something the other day about not liking the playoff format
mhm.
because when we go into the playoffs, we're not at our best. And the Phillies were all up in their feelings about it. Oh, they
Mhm.
got so upset, Chris. They were
Mhm.
feelings, nothing more than right. So I mean, it's like I don't know. What are your thoughts in regards to Braves Phillies rivalry? And James, I'll open it up to you.
Shoot, man. Braves and Phillies rivalry. I mean, it depends on, it comes down to health. You already know it comes down to health, who the players have. Because I feel like teams got to go back and forth beating each other for it to be a rivalry like that. And honestly, right now, for it to really turn into a true rivalry, the Braves would have to beat the Phillies. The Braves
Hmm.
would have eliminate the Phillies at this point because they've done it to us. Like, yeah, we've beaten them in the regular season, but when it's time to shine and put up or shut up, the Phillies have been taking us out. So, and I believe for it to really embody a true rivalry, the Braves would have to beat the Phillies. Like the Braves and Phillies match up in the playoffs this year, we're going to have to beat them. Even if it goes the distance, and we have to get it in Game 7 or something like that, we would have to beat them, and then send them home feeling some type of way, like how we've been feeling the last 2 years when they've beaten us. So, but Falcons and Saints, I feel like there is no series, no rivalry that can really touch that, bro. I'm sorry, that right there is pretty much embedded and will be forever.
It's hate week, brother. It's hate week.
It's legit. They don't like us. We don't like them. Yeah, it's like legit. Like as far as football goes, we don't like them. They don't like us. It just is what it is. Everybody understands it. What they say, everybody understands the assignment or whatever. Everybody knows. So we already know. We have people. I know for a fact. I know people who are cool when it's not Falcons and Saints. You know what I'm saying? But when it is, it's on. And that's just so that right there. I don't think there's no rivalry in baseball for the Atlanta Braves that can rival Falcons and Saints. It's just too big.
No, I don't think for the Braves either. Now, Red Sox Yankees is a better rivalry, and Auburn Alabama.
That's more that rivalry is more closer to Falcons and Saints than anything that we have.
It is. James says he's been watching the Braves and Falcons since the 60s. Oh, James, you got me beat, buddy. Okay.
Definitely had me beat.
I love it.
James definitely had me beat as well. Shout out to you, James, for holding it down, man. Holding it down.
Hey, so James, who's your favorite Brave of all time? Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? I mean, because the 60s, geez. You saw Hank Aaron.
No,
you
man.
You probably saw Hank Aaron's entire Braves career, or close to it.
If you said he been,
yep,
that's what he said too. Aaron, Hank Aaron, yes sir. I mean, Hammer and Hank, man. I mean, how can you go wrong with Hammer and Hank? And it's crazy. Real quick side note, man. I'm working on an interview bringing on an author, Mr. Randy Cox. He was actually at the game that Hammer and Hank hit 715.
Oh wow!
So, and he wrote a book about it. Yeah, he wrote a book about it and everything.
Live. Hold on. James saw the home run live.
Oh, there you go. So this is what I'm saying. That's another guy, man, seen the home run live. So hey man, we may have to do something. No,
hey
seriously.
James, we might have to interview you, buddy. We might have to.
Yeah, he said on my black and white TV, by the way.
Yes, sir. I had a black and white TV. I remember that. We used to have one, the little tiny black and white TV for the kitchen. It was like probably 18, 17 inches or whatever. Little bitty TV for the kitchen back in the day, before cable. But yeah, man, black and white TV. Boy, you took me back there, James. Wow. So James, did you see what is it?
I'm super young.
What is it? Zane and Pray for Rain. What is it? Spawn and Zane and Pray for Rain. Did you see those guys pitch, James? I think they may have pitched in the set. Warren Spahn and Zane. I don't know. Let me know if you saw them pitch, James. But yeah, man, Chris, back to the point. We gotta be able to hit. We gotta be able to do it. Honestly, we probably need to score 5-6 runs a game for these next 6 games.
But T Will, now we don't talked about this off of camera. Yeah. I said what I said. I said the Braves can get about 6 or 7 runs a game.
Yeah,
that right there. First of all, that's a high run total. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So, but if you can get anywhere from 5 to 7 a game, I feel like you're going to the World Series, damn it.
Oh, with our pitching, if we can set it up, we're oh, so you did see Warren Spahn. Okay, yeah. And I thought so, James.
Mhm.
For those of you who don't know, Warren Spahn was a stud. I believe he's a Hall of Famer. Um, excellent pitcher. Excellent pitcher. And Zane was too, but Spawn was that dude. But yeah,
Well, you know what I gotta do now? You know I gotta go look. You
go
know I gotta go watch some film.
look him up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but no, we need to score 5 runs a game, 5, 6 runs a game, and we need to do it by the sixth inning. We don't need to let it, because the Mets back in bullpen is really good.
Oh, I
It's
said
re-
quick starts. That's why
it's
I said
really good.
quick
So
starts, bro.
you're gonna have to have that, and not only that, guys. And you alluded to this, Chris, but look, we have to make contact. Runner on third,
Yeah.
less than 2 outs. You got to get him in. I don't care what you do.
Yep.
I don't care if it's a base hit. I don't care if it's a long fly ball. You got runner on third, less than 2 outs. You got to get him in. And
Right.
there may be times where you have to play small ball, where maybe you have to bunt. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
have to hit run. Maybe you have to steal. And I think you will see that in this series. I don't think
Right.
the Braves will just sit back. Because hey, look it, man, this is for that. This is for it all. This is playoff
Yeah.
baseball.
This is
The
playoff
Braves playoff
baseball right now.
tonight. Right. So
And
you
and,
gotta have,
and the Braves definitely are taking this series just because of who they have going in this series.
yeah. Oh, without a
Swelly,
doubt.
Sale,
Without a doubt.
Freed. So
Yeah.
they know they gotta have this. They
Yeah.
gotta have it because shoot, man, you're 2 games behind. You're two
Yeah.
games behind these guys, but it's not impossible because I also want to bring up the fact that the Diamondbacks did lose last night,
Right.
and the Diamondbacks they're playing the Giants. So hopefully the Giants can at least take that series. If the Giants can take that series, that's another thing because the Diamondbacks are finishing off the season against the Padres. The
Mm.
Padres are 90-66.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah,
Now
and
that,
that's
I didn't know that.
and yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's
Mm.
another thing too. So regardless, the Braves have to take care of their business. They
Mhm.
have to win this series against the Mets, preferably the sweep. But like you said, 5-1 is really it. You can only afford to possibly lose one game, and I
Right.
really don't want you to do that. But you really can
I
only
don't I don't
afford
want to do
one
that
game.
either.
You
Right.
really can only afford one game because you're too far back. You're 2 games back with 6 games left to go. That's not a lot of room for error. So,
Mm-mm.
but my thing is, you're gonna need help from other teams as well. You're gonna need help from other teams. You take care of business. You sweep the Mets. You're ahead of the Mets, but you also want the Diamondbacks to be losing too, just in case you may need some of that cushion at the end. Let's say
Yeah.
things don't go the
Point.
right
Yeah.
way. Let's say things don't go the right way with the Royals. At least what I'm saying, you possibly may have some kind of cushion with other teams. I hate that you have to kind of depend on other teams possibly, but as long as you take care of your business, we got a celebrity in here, man.
The Dixon
Local
Way.
celebrity in here, man.
Dixon
Nah,
Way.
man,
What's going
yeah,
on?
man. Nah, seriously, man, our guy Larry, man, from the Dixon Way, so him and his wife Shonda do a wonderful job, man, over there.
They-
They talk everything. When I say Braves, Hawks, Falcons, come on, man. You got to turn your TV down and turn the Dixon Way up because they're always, doing some things. I know they had an off day yesterday. I know you're getting ready for the Braves as well, too, Larry. I'm pretty sure because it's an important series this tonight. We gotta have it. We gotta
Yeah.
have. He said, "You already know my man Larry. He not taking that celebrity
He's a
status. He
humble
not gonna
guy.
take it. He not
I
gonna
love
take
this
it. But
dude,
yes,
man.
just one of the biggest
Absolutely
Atlanta
love
sports fans that I know. Does great work over there, man. I'm definitely subscribed. You guys should definitely be too.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, man,
I am
Dixon
too.
Way, man.
I am
Yeah,
too.
man. But we gotta have it. We gotta have it again. It's gonna be tough sledding for everybody, regardless, because it's any given day at this point in time.
Yeah.
Whoever you're playing, even if they're not making the playoffs, they should still have some type of pride to try to still want to ruin your season or your chances. Everybody knows what's going on. You just
Yeah.
Braves, you just take care of business. You continue let this pitching be your anchor, and
Yeah.
this hitting again has to show me that they can get out on the pitching staff, on the opposing pitching staff early, take care of business, jump out to an early lead, so it's not so hard for you in the back end of the stretch, like you were saying about the Mets bullpen. But I'm gonna be real with you, with your T. Will. It's going to come a time in this series to where the Braves are going to have to grind those 6, 7, 8, and 9th innings out.
Yeah,
It's not going. I want it to be smooth sailing, but I'm gonna be real. I'm just gonna go ahead and be real. It's gonna be tough sledding at least one of these games, to where it's like a pitcher's duel, low scoring, and the Braves are gonna have it. I don't know if it's gonna be tonight, tomorrow, or or Thursday, but I do believe that it's gonna be one of these games to where it's just gonna be like, man, we're in a gridlock, but we gotta grind it out more than them.
No,
oh yeah, definitely rivalry week, Sheldon. All the way around, rivalry week, very busy week.
Definitely. Truer words have never been spoken. My thing is, I'm greatest chance of success. You got to get to them early, and the other thing is, and I'll open this up to the chat as well, James in the Dixon way. If it's me, I'm running Michael Harris. I mean, look, you got to pull out all the stops. You got to have it.
Yeah.
I don't know their catcher's pop-up time. I know they have Ronald Acuna Jr.'s brother at shortstop, but I'm testing that, at least in that first. I'm testing out that catcher. I'm sending. Look, you got to steal. You got to do hit and runs. You got to do whatever you got to do to get on that board and score runs and take the pressure off early and often. I agree. Again, Chris, you're probably right. It may come a time where you have to take them on. You know what I mean? You do.
I mean, it's just because just as much as we need this game, they do too. They know how bad we need it, and they know if they win this series, that's almost it for the Braves. Really, I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, because I mean, even with the last 3 games, okay, that means the Diamondbacks will have to lose out, and I don't see that. I see them at least. I don't, so it's just like you don't want to. Yeah, but this is a point too. I was going to mention this too, but Larry already got to me. Snick don't hit and run much, to be honest. But I will agree. But Snick gonna snick. Snick gonna snick. Hey man,
but I think honestly, maybe he's a little different tonight. Because again, you look, you got to have this. You gotta you cannot just sit back and play defense and wait for the 3-run homer. You got to make it happen. I don't know if he's gonna. I just got a feeling Snit's gonna be more aggressive. I would. He's managed in playoff series before. He knows that it's now or never. You got to be aggressive. You know what I mean? You got to, especially early. If you get runners on, you got to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to do it. It is now or never. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. You know what I mean? But I think it's gonna be interesting. I don't know their catcher's pop time. I probably should have looked at that. And that may determine if they run or not. I don't know. You know what I mean? Look, you can only throw it over there twice. But if it's me, Michael Harris, Ozzie, they get on, I'm running them both. You know,
man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm even running Sean Murphy if he gets on.
Hell no, I'm not running. And maybe, you know what, with everything that's happened,
he stole bases last year. I don't know why he can't do it this year all of a sudden.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say no on that one.
See what he said. You're not having it, T.
I'm not running Sean Murphy. I'm not doing that. Yeah.
But am I lying? Did he not steal bases last year?
I mean, he might have taken advantage of because nobody was looking at him. But I mean, bro, that dude probably runs a 640, bro. I mean, he's not fleet of foot. Okay, so I wouldn't do that. But hey, I mean, you never know. Different ways.
Hey, this is real. You can read it, if you will.
Oh, okay. Thanks, sir. But we need to change our approach at the plate. To be honest, we need money. Mike and Ozzie being guys not swinging for the fences. Yes. And just try to get on base, bunt once in a while. Also, so frustrated. You know what? I'm be honest with you. I don't even know that Ozzie can bunt. Have we seen Michael Harris bunt before? Maybe. Have we seen?
I haven't seen Michael Harris bunt, but you know what? Larry, have you ever seen Michael Harris bunt? Because I know I watch the games, but I know you watch way more games than me. So that's why I've never seen it though. And I still watch quite a few Braves games myself,
Yeah,
but I haven't seen it.
I would say he's closer to bunting than Ozzie.
Right.
I may, once in a while Harris may bunt. I don't know that I've ever seen Ozzie bunt, and if so, I don't know that it was successful. But I mean, Dixon Way does have a point, man.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's okay. Yeah.
Look,
Now
you
that
got
he
to
say
pull out
that,
all the stops tonight. You know what I mean? Especially, and fair or not, because say what you want to about Snit, but I mean half his team was injured. So
yeah.
just for the Braves
But we already know it's gonna be like us Atlanteans that's gonna be like, well, we were hurt. Everybody else gonna be like, hey, y'all didn't get it done. We don't want to hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's not fair. It's really not fair. But at the end of the day, what in life is fair? At the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you what is fair. You going out there handling your business this last 6 games, showing that you are the Atlanta Braves. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully, since the Dodgers series, I've been liking, more of what I've been seeing from the Atlanta Braves as a whole than as a team, more so than previous times. I'm hoping that this lineup is starting to gel because they've been playing together the longest, really, and they're starting to gel, and they will help this pitching staff by supplying more runs, by putting more pressure on opposing pitching staffs, getting on base, not always swinging for the fences, but necessarily just trying to get on base, put the ball in play, get on base, and continue to work these runs, work over these pitch counts and everything, man. That's how you're going to have to be able to do it. You're going to have to be aggressive. You got to be smart, and you're going to have to be the Atlanta Braves that we know that you guys can be. That's it, man. That's it. Like we have to put the ball in play. Like I said earlier, singles, triples, and doubles work just like home runs do. It just take a little longer. That's it, man. We gotta have it though. We have to have it as a team. I can't stress that enough. This is a very important time. I said, is it does the world end if the Braves don't make the playoffs? I mean, no. But at the end of the day, the Braves make this playoffs, they can be a dangerous team, bro. They can
be a very dangerous team. They can be a very dangerous. I mean, they could win it all. They could win it all. But you got to get there. And you know what's interesting? The Dodgers play San Diego in that last series. The Dodgers also play they play San Diego this week. They're playing San Diego tonight, right?
Okay.
So San Diego's 3.5 up on us. If they win in either of these games, I think it's over, right? But if let's say the Dodgers sweep them, it becomes interesting. But I honestly don't think the Dodgers will sweep them.
I don't either.
I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to sweep. Honestly, to be honest with you, San Diego really could win that series. I ain't saying a sweep, but I'm just saying I think they can take more games. But
I'll say it. San Diego could sweep them.
Hey,
San Diego could easily sweep them. Easily.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna say easily, but San Diego could sweep them. I could see that. So I mean, this is what you want.
Yeah, always appreciate that, my brother. Always, man. Yeah, man. We just want to get in here, really, man, and talk about this Braves Mets series. Talk about the whole overall outlook of the Atlanta Braves and what they have coming forward. It's a tough sledding. Is it going to be easy? We neither one of us have said it's going to be easy, but we know that these Atlanta Braves are capable of completing this. Man, we got to have it now. Again, I'm laying my hat on the fact that the Braves batting has been better since the Dodgers series, and you
Mhm.
possibly can say maybe a game or two before that. I feel like it's been better. I feel like we've been supplying more runs. We're just not still consistent. We have to put the ball in play and stop trying to always go for the like Larry said, for the home run ball, the swing for the fences. You just got to put it in play sometimes, man. I know it takes longer. It may seem boring, but you got to put the ball in play. Singles, triples, and doubles work just as well. They just take a little longer. That's it, man. You have the capability. You're starting to get the chemistry with your lineup. The pitching staff has been pitching. Go ahead and reward them guys with more runs, man. 5 to 7 runs again, like me and T Will both said. You do that, man, you probably going to the doggone World Series. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing that consistently. So we'll see what happens.
No.
Big series tonight, man. T Will, please, by all means, man, let the people know where they can find you.
Yes, sir. And first and foremost, brother Chris, thank you for having me on this podcast. I appreciate it as always. Hey, man, love doing the podcast with you. You know what it is. I can be found at One Time for the Fan on YouTube. Also, I can be found at For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. One Time for the Fan, we're typically Sunday nights, Wednesday nights, and Friday mornings. For My ATL Sports 1 is typically Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and some Mondays or whenever the game after the Falcons. So again, guys, appreciate it. Got to give shout outs to Larry the Dixon Way
Yes, sir.
and to our other guest, which was Mr. James Overton. Appreciate you, sir. Definitely learned
Long
something.
time Braves and Falcon fan right
Long
now.
time, Braves. That's right. So thank you to both of you, gentlemen. Enjoyed you guys joining us for lunch. Hey, shout out to obviously my One Time for the Fan crew, which would be Jack Spade, my mentor, Kerry, as well as Bodie 3000. Got to shout out my guys for the Braves podcast that I do, which is Mr. Falcon Fandemic, obviously Mr. Chris A1 Forever, and RJ. So got to give them a shout out. Got to give a shout out to my Friday night crew, which is Miss Lisa Shepard, Miss Tiff Raines, and Mr. Jabri Harper. And I think I got everybody. So again, shout out to my family. Thank you, God, because I wouldn't be here without you, and I appreciate it. And hey, brother Chris, let's do this again, man. Thank you for having me. Love to join you again. The floor is yours.
Oh yeah, man. We're gonna. Oh, no problem, Larry. Man, I already know, man. We're gonna get some content in, man. I know. First of all, again, you know, I'm saying congratulations to you and your wife. You know, happy anniversary to you guys. I know that just
right.
passed.
Happy anniversary. That's right.
Man, happy anniversary to you guys, man. Man, you guys deserve, rest days, and because this is rivalry week, so I know you guys are gonna be very busy with the Dogs, Braves, and Falcons this week. So I know you guys got it, man. But we're definitely gonna get some content in with Larry. Hopefully these Braves make the playoffs, and then we'll have more to talk about. You dig it? So, but yeah, man, as you see, going below, on the little tab below, has been going pretty much the whole stream. A1 Forever Sports on YouTube, Instagram, A1 Forever, Twitter, or whatever they want to call it, A1 Rock or A1 Forever. And of course on TikTok, the real A1 Forever, man. Come over, man. If anybody want to show love, like, subscribe, comment, I absolutely love it all. And love my Atlanta teams. Shout out to T Will, to everybody over there, One Time from the Fan, Jack, Bodie, Miss Carrie. Shout out to the Dixon Way. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody that came through, Mr. James, everybody, man. So, and if anybody sees this later on, please again like, subscribe to both channels, just to help us get out there in the algorithm, help us, grow our channels. And we're going to continue to, provide the ATL sports content, continue to talk about our Atlanta sports teams, because we are from Atlanta. So, it is what it is, man. Make sure y'all find y'all peace today, and y'all be generational, because it's always time to be. Let's go Braves. Let's sweep these Mets. It starts tonight. Let's get it, Swelly. It's on you, baby. You got this, baby.
Let's go. Let's go, Braves. Let's go.
Until next time, y'all, peace and blessings, and we will holla.
A1. Yeah, truly.